Back again with another YouTube video. It's your boy Uriah G. Today we're gonna react to 10 great WWE matches ruined by terrible finishes. Let's get right into the video.
I'm thirsty. Yeah.
Alright, we have an ad to start off. That's cool though. Man, I was trying to do a NFL vid, right? But I had got copyrighted, so I had to scrap it, guys. Wasted my time reacting to a vid, but man, I ain't even tripping, because I understand certain guidelines for YouTube with certain content topics. And it was just like, it was a halftime show football video that I was reacting to, and then it got copyrighted, and I had to scrap it. So that's why, it took me a day or two to think on what I want to react to next. But yeah, let's get right into it. 10 great WWE matches ruined by terrible finishes.
Ending has the ability to ruin just about anything. A movie, a book, not that I've ever read one or will ever read one, kissing a girl on the mouth, maybe one day. Hell, you name it, if it ends in an unsatisfying manner, it has the potential to undo all the good that came before it. WWE matches are very much the same way, as there have been many great ones that, due to dodgy decision-making as far as booking is concerned, end up with tarnished legacies. I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are 10 great WWE matches ruined by terrible finishes. Join us.
I already see Jon Stewart in there, that SummerSlam match with John Cena and Seth.
But first, I would like to have a serious talk about...
I think this is the little ad thing that he's gonna talk about. Yeah. Skip past it.
Michaels vs. Mankind are In Your House Mind Games. Coming a month after SummerSlam, WWE's Mind Games pay-per-view was, on paper, a throwaway show with little to offer in the way of must-see matches or important angles. It was, however, headlined by world champion Shawn Michaels defending his title against Mankind, a Monster of the Month challenger who didn't have a hope of actually winning but would at least help make it a compelling contest. And what a ruddy-bloody match it was, stuffed full of thrills and spills as both men, who each took great pride in their performance, put it all on the line to turn what could have easily been a forgotten meeting into a genuine match of the year.
I think there was some spots in this, because I see that table over there. I think this is the match where Mankind fell through that announce table. Is that spot? Or is that a different match?
Contender. During a year of standout performances from Michaels and Foley, this might have been their very best, the 25-minute match building perfectly to, well, a very disappointing disqualification finish when Vader ran in and attacked the Heartbreak Kid. The post-match scene with The Undertaker was certainly memorable, and the match is still a corker however you look at it, but the lack of a decisive ending really is a shame, and
I think this is the spot. Yo, I know my wrestling. What the world?
probably a major reason it's not brought up as much as it should be. Number 9, Steve Austin vs. Kurt Angle at SummerSlam 2001. No doubt realizing that the invasion angle was going nowhere fast, with the mid-card geeks representing the WCW-ECW alliance posing little threat to the mighty Federation, the company opted to have Steve Austin jump ship, lending the invaders some much-needed star power. Kurt Angle, fed through and through, was incredulous at the turncoat, and the two men feuded going into SummerSlam, where the Olympic hero sought to bring the world title back home. Their match was an absolute scorcher, full of intensity from the off as they brawled, wrestled, and traded big moves and finishes in a seesaw match that saw Angle get badly busted open. During a frantic closing stretch, Austin attacked referee Earl Hebner, then attacked his replacement Mike Chioda, and then attacked his replacement Tim White. Despite the Texas Rattlesnake disposing of 3 officials in a bid to escape with the gold, Kurt continued to battle and looked to have things sewn up when WCW ref Nick Patrick ran in, feigned like he was going to count, and then called for the DQ. All that just for Angle to beat Austin clean a month later at Unforgiven. Number 8, Triple H vs. Booker T at
He beat Stone Cold clean. I think Kurt Angle beat The Rock clean also.
WrestleMania 19. Everything about the build-up to Triple H and Booker T's World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 19 suggested that the 5-time former WCW champion would be walking away with the belt. A racially charged storyline had fans convinced that Booker, the street-tough underdog who had worked hard for everything he'd ever gotten, overcoming the odds along the way, would prevail over the pampered and protected champ who had been handed everything in his life. I mean, he was literally handed the World Heavyweight title by Eric Bischoff on Raw, lest we forget.
I think with this match, one of them didn't want to go over. Like, one didn't want to lose. I think, what was it? Triple H refused to lose to Booker T for this match. Yeah, there's some story behind this match.
While the match wasn't exactly an all-time classic or anything, it was still really, really good, and Booker looked like he was going to pull through after disposing of Ric Flair at ringside and hitting the game with the Harlem Hangover. Well, not quite, but then he went for his patented scissor kick and, oh, hold on a second, he's fallen down and Triple H has hit a pedigree, leaving both of them lying on the canvas. Well, whoever gets to their feet first is surely going to be... Hang on a second, did he just pin Booker with one hand after waiting approximately 6 months to make the cover? Is that the finish? Is it? Well, I for one cannot and will not dig that. Sucker! Number 7.
Go with another advertisement. It's cool though. We're used to it. I need to get an editor. If I could find... Where's my editors out there? If I can get an editor. But once I, like, you know, figure out my budgeting for how... when I want to budget paying editors and stuff like that, that's when I'll probably start doing that. Because I gotta, like, budget for different payments and stuff I want to buy. So it's like, if I'm gonna do an editor, I might edit videos sometimes. If, you know what I mean, just on certain times. Half of these months, certain times in this month or couple months. But let's get right back to the video.
Money in the Bank 2019. The Money in the Bank ladder match is pretty hard to mess up. You take a bunch of talented performers, let them play with ladders, and sit back, relax.
Because if I get an editor, I won't have to worry about these ads. They'll be able to cut all that out.
And watch the carnage unfold. Well, not exactly relax. I mean, the matches are absolutely terrifying to watch. But the point I'm getting at is that it would actually be a challenge to make one of them uninteresting or actively bad. It is not a challenge, however, to ruin one of them with a universally despised finish. In the main event of Money in the Bank 2019, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, Andrade, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali were competing for the coveted briefcase. Going almost 20 minutes.
Oh no, this is the Brock Lesnar match.
It was a typically breathless display full of innovative stunts and bumps, and it looked for all the world like Ali was going to emerge as the surprise winner. The actual surprise was Brock Lesnar sauntering out to replace Sami Zayn, who had been taken out of the match via a pre-match attack, pushing the ladder and Ali over and...
It's really crazy that they were really gonna go for Mustafa Ali winning. Like, what they were actually gonna go for before they went with the plans with Brock, Mustafa Ali. I mean, but I'm not surprised though, because, you know, they try to push young talent and talent that you wouldn't expect to win the Money in the Bank, like Austin Theory, Otis. But, you know, I don't really mind Austin Theory. I don't know, he's good with his character. His character's well. People didn't like him. People say he was trash and all that around this time, but it's funny. Well, not around this time, but it's funny, like, when he won the Money in the Bank and all that stuff, compared to now. But I always liked Austin Theory, because when he was a heel and people were booing him, it just shows that he's able to play his character right. And he's just a good in-ring wrestler. He's young.
Grabbing the briefcase without so much as breaking a sweat. And when you consider just how sweaty Lesnar usually is, that's quite an accomplishment. Number 6, the Elimination Chamber match at SummerSlam 2003. Similar to Money in the Bank, the Elimination Chamber is an inherently exciting match that is difficult to balls up. You know what else is difficult to balls up? Goldberg. And yet... WWE mishandled the man from the off, weakening his aura by having him sell in long competitive matches and do stupid stuff like, letting Goldust put a blonde wig on his head. At SummerSlam 2003, however, the Goldberg of old finally emerged from his pod inside the Elimination Chamber, tearing through the field like the smashing machines fans had embraced so strongly during the Monday Night Wars. In the chamber, which was for Triple H's World Heavyweight title, Goldberg blasted through Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, and Chris Jericho in a few awe-inspiring minutes, leaving him one-on-one with the
Yeah, I done seen this match. Goldberg was reckoning going through everyone.
Cerebral Assassin. This truly was the moment to pull the trigger and do a title change, but WWE believed it wouldn't be as effective since Hunter was injured and could barely do anything physical, booking a finish that saw the champ counter a spear with a sledgehammer shot to the back of the head instead. When Triple H was moderately healthier a month later at Unforgiven, they booked the switch in a match nowhere near as good or memorable. Number 5, Seth Rollins vs. John Cena at SummerSlam 2015.
Like I said, the Jon Stewart, he was already World Heavyweight Champion, and then he faced John Cena for the US title at SummerSlam, and he beat him, so it made him undisputed champion. I mean, look, Seth Rollins as a heel, bro, that's history in the making, because it's like, I'm not even talking about now, I'm talking about around that time. It's like, I didn't hate Seth, but like, I didn't like Seth Rollins. Like, that's how you know his character if a heel is well, and it's structured well and good. Because if you're able to be a heel and the fans boo you, then that means you're doing your job.
At SummerSlam 2015, Seth Rollins and John Cena met in a winner-takes-all match where both the WWE World and United States titles were on the line. A blockbuster match for the so-called biggest party of the summer, there was simply no way that Cena and Rollins weren't going to go all out to steal the show. And true to form, John and Seth, wearing that white gear that Vince McMahon reportedly loathed, put on a clinic that kept fans guessing.
Hey, that's like my favorite Seth Rollins attire. That and the gold and black, I think.
Right up until the finish. Oh yes, the finish. With the referee down, comedian and talk show host and host of SummerSlam, Jon Stewart, came down to the ring. Now, Stewart had been beefing with Rollins as of late, the two men trading barbs back and forth, so the expectation was that the Daily Show man was going to somehow meddle in the Architect's affairs. But, shock horror, Stewart turned on Cena and hit him with a chair, paving the way for Rollins to pedigree his way to another title triumph. It was later explained by Stewart in a promo that he did so because he didn't want Cena to surpass Ric Flair's record 16 world titles, but personally, I think the whole thing was a load of absolute...
Wait, that is interesting to know why he did that. I didn't think about that. Because I must have didn't pay attention to the segment or the, the, what's this called? Promo. I'm talking about he didn't want him to pass 16-time champ, and it's crazy now, he actually did. Because he's actually your Universal Champion right now. But hey.
bollocks.
Why are we gonna get an ad just as I finish talking?
Versus Steve Austin at King of the Ring 1997. In the main event of WrestleMania 14, Shawn Michaels dropped the world title to Steve Austin square in the middle of the ring. It was a true torch-passing moment as HBK went into temporary retirement and Stone Cold went on to become the biggest thing on the goddamn planet. A torch-passing moment, perhaps, but the match itself wasn't all it could have been due to the showstoppers.
This is true though, because this was the time when Stone Cold was the biggest of the company. around that period.
Debilitating back injury. Less than a year earlier at King of the Ring, the two men had a much better professional wrestling match that, nonetheless, was tempered by a duff finish. It was far and away the best thing on a pretty dire show, the two men working a match that started with some tight mat wrestling and kept escalating, heading into a topsy-turvy finishing sequence that saw the ref get bumped. Oh, and then get bumped again when Austin decided to stunner him. Oh, and then another ref came in and Michaels decided to kick him in, because why the hell not? Finally, a third ref ran out and called the whole thing off as a double disqualification. I've got double something for you, whoever
A double disqualification.
booked that finish. Number 3, Eddie Guerrero versus JBL at Judgment Day 2004. With seemingly everyone in the SmackDown main events
That's probably JBL's best rivalry. Eddie Guerrero and Cena.
seen disappearing for one reason or another after WrestleMania.
Am I right or wrong? Or is y'all let me know in the comments if there is any I'm missing. Cause I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah. And Brock Lesnar.
Mania 20, WWE Champion Eddie Guerrero was
Oh yeah, and Rey Mysterio.
tasked with trying to elevate career mid-card babyface tag teamer Bradshaw, who had been hurriedly rebranded as headline heel John Bradshaw Layfield. It was a tough ask for Latino Heat, who put his title on the line against JBL in the Judgment Day 2004 main event in a sink-or-swim moment for the challenger. Thankfully, Eddie and, to his credit, JBL worked their backsides off that night, putting together a very strong match that carried a genuine sense of drama due to Guerrero's gory blade job and
Oh yeah, the blading. This match is a lot of blood.
subsequent blood loss. It was gripping stuff seeing Eddie make his comeback while wearing the proverbial crimson mask, at the same time that the sheer amount of claret made it feel like he could realistically lose his championship. In the end though, WWE went for a cop-out finish to prolong the program to the next pay-per-view as Guerrero hits JBL with the WWE title belt, drawing the DQ. The post-match scenes were meant to make up for a lack of decisive conclusion, but such an epic encounter really did deserve one. Number 2, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at Extreme Rules 2012. 8 years after walking out of WWE and having since conquered the world of mixed martial arts, Brock Lesnar walked back into the company with a rep as one of the baddest men on the planet. The former UFC heavyweight champion immediately targeted one of the men who had stepped up in his absence, John Cena, setting up a titanic tussle at Extreme Rules 2012. The build had been intense, and that intensity carried over into the match, fought with an Extreme Rules stipulation, with Lesnar just brutalizing Cena from the get-go, a theme that continued as the painful match went on. Brock was utterly dominant here, very much possessing the aura of a man who had spent the past several years fighting for real in cages. So what a return it was shaping up to be for the next big thing.
What's so bad about this match? Alright, I think he's gonna get into the finish right now.
Who would surely collect Big Match John's scalp and lay down a marker on his first night back in a WWE ring. Surely Lesnar was going to pick up the decisive W here. Well, Brock may have gotten the better of Frank Mir, Randy Couture, and Heath Herring in the octagon, but he was no match for Prime Super Cena, who hit Lesnar with a chain followed by an AA to inexplicably walk away with his hand raised. Number 1, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 30.
And it's like, dang, Brock, he lost his first match back.
39. As WrestleMania 39 approached, Roman Reigns had been undisputed WWE.
Hey, nah, this might be a terrible finish to a match, but it did tell a story. Now that we think about it, cause you know, Cody facing him again the next year and then winning, but he's gonna get into that. He probably will.
Universal Champion for approximately 3 decades. The Tribal Chief's time on top had been long, and it finally felt as though in Cody Rhodes there was a man who could end Roman's reign. The American Nightmare was super over as a babyface. He had won the Rumble and seemed to have serious momentum heading into the Showcase of the Immortals. The match, which headlined Night 2 of festivities, lived up to the hype and felt like a big-time WrestleMania epic for the ages, and all it needed was the right finish to make it an all-timer. Spoiler alert, it did not have the right finish. Now, you can argue the merits of either man going over on the night. But most would agree it was Cody's turn to go over. It felt like it was going that way too, as the match built to a crescendo following interference from the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, when things were decided by sneaky Solo Sikoa and his Samoan Spike, suffering succotash.
Well, he did explain it. So yeah, that was 10 great WWE matches ruined by terrible finishes. Tell me what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. I got more videos coming. Stay tuned. Subscribe, like, comment, and yeah. More videos coming. Uriah out.